Okay, this is problem 2, Outdoor Leadership School. And this has a newly organized business that teaches people how to inspire and influence others. And they need to create these accounts. And what the problem wants you to do is list it in the order that they should appear in the ledger, and then assign account numbers. Alright? So let's do this. Let's do it together, and I'm pretty good at this, so maybe I'll be able to help you. Okay? The first one that we would have for sure would be cash, because it's the most liquid asset and it would be on the balance sheet. Okay? So then I would cross this off like that. Cross it off once you've got it. Okay? The next one that I would put down in here would be accounts receivable. Okay? Accounts receivable would be the next most liquid asset. So accounts receivable. And that's EI, okay? I before E except after C. R-E-C-E-I. Accounts receivable. Do the numbering at the end and then check it off. And then we can go back through here. These are expenses. We've got prepaid insurance. We have supplies. Okay, supplies would be an asset. And check it off. And then prepaid insurance would be the last one. Not quite. We'll have prepaid insurance. And do we have any other assets there? The last one that we have would be equipment. So these are all assets. Okay? Then what else? Now we go to liabilities on the balance sheet. Our first liability would always be accounts payable. Okay, so I'll put accounts payable here. And check it off. And then what else do we have? Any other liabilities? Though we've got one tricky one there, unearned rent. A liability for performance. So they must have a tenant that rents space from them and they paid them in advance. Okay, so unearned rent. So that's the end of the liabilities. So now we would work on the capital accounts. And we'd have Lori Ross Capital. And Lori Ross Drawing. Those two accounts would be listed together. Okay, so get rid of those two. Now we're finished with the balance sheet and we can start looking for some revenue. And the first, there we go. The first revenue account we have is fees earned. So fees earned. That would be revenue. And then we can do our expenses. I would probably do wage expense next. We usually do like the, well, actually in the chart of accounts it doesn't matter, just the expenses. So we've got wage expense, supplies expense, rent expense, we got that one. And finally, the last account that we have is miscellaneous expense. Okay, so we've got them all. You take a quick look at it, make sure you didn't miss any. But let's take a look at the accounts that we have now. These accounts are all assets. Okay? My accounts payable and unearned rent are liabilities. And these are my capital accounts. And the reason I'm doing this is because this will determine how we number the accounts. Okay, fees earned. This is revenue. And then the last four accounts are all expenses. Okay, so that all of the asset accounts would have, say, a 1 for a prefix in the account number. Okay, and accounts payable would be, we could make those 2s, and the equity accounts could be 3s, and the revenue account would be 4, and the expense accounts would all begin with 5s. Alright, now the next thing is we just need to give it a sequential number. So we could make cash 10, okay? Accounts receivable, it could be 2 and 3, and prepaid insurance, maybe make that 5, and equipment, that's a long-term asset. I guess we'll make it an 8. I would have been tempted to change the first digit too. Accounts payable, we only have a couple of these, so accounts payable, we could make that 22 and 24 for earned rent. The capital accounts could be 32 and 34. It's nice to skip a couple numbers just in case you got to squeeze something in. Fee revenue, we'll make that 40. And then for the expenses, 52, 54, 56, and 58. Okay, so the point is, assets are first, they do go in order of liquidity, so, and we've got current and long-term assets, then liabilities, then your capital accounts, then revenue, and then expenses. Okay, and these categories determine that first digit in the account number. And that's the story.